All right, let's begin. Pay close attention. Today's briefing is on this core principle. Conversation isn't a skill. It's a Japanese second-person pronoun strategy for making future allies. Forget what you think you know. This is not a grammar lesson. This is your new strategic manual for building connections.
I want to get better at conversation. This is your goal, isn't it? It's a worthy ambition, but your entire approach is flawed. You're looking at the problem from the wrong angle. So today, we are going to tear down that faulty premise and rebuild it from the ground up. We start with the most basic question. What is conversation?
First, let's dismantle your misconceptions. It is not about being good at jokes. Humor is a tool, nothing more. Being the court jester will not make you a master conversationalist. Get that out of your head right now.
And it's not about being the life of the party either. You can be the loudest person in the room, but charisma without strategy is just noise. This isn't about volume, it's about connection. Remember that. And here's the one that trips up most of you. It is not just about fluency. You can memorize the entire dictionary, you can have flawless grammar, but if the person you're speaking with feels defensive, all that effort is worthless. Utterly useless. This points to a much deeper truth you've been missing. So here it is, the core principle. Conversation is a phenomenon that rests entirely on a relationship. If they don't trust you, if they're wary of you, the conversation is dead on arrival. It doesn't matter how perfect your Japanese is. Your objective, then, is not just to talk. It's to forge a relationship where they want to engage with you again. Your mission is to make an ally. So, here's our plan of attack. First, we identify the problem, distance. Second, we analyze our weapons, Japan's distance codes. Then we'll cover the ultimate opening gambit, strategy 0. After that, we move to situational tactics. And finally, we'll focus on the grand strategy, designing your future. Allies are not made by accident. They are designed. You engineer the conditions for them to emerge. And the primary variable you will control, the one that defines everything, is distance. Every human relationship you have is governed by it.
Now, distance itself can be broken down into two critical components. First, speed. How fast are you closing the gap? Second, pressure. How much force are you applying in your advance? If you miscalculate either of these, you create what we call an accident, a social collision.
Let's observe these accidents in the field. A typical pickup line. Approaching a stranger with, "Hey, Kimi." The speed is reckless. The relationship is at 0, but the language assumes intimacy. It's a crash. Or worse, a romance scam DM. "Hello, my dear." 0 prior contact, yet they apply maximum pressure. It's immediately repulsive, isn't it? And why? Because in both scenarios, the fundamental design is broken. It's not about bad technique. Their entire strategy is wrong from the start. So this leads to the critical question. How does the Japanese language itself provide the tools to design this distance? English is a blunt instrument. It gives you one word, you. Japanese, however, is a precision toolkit. It doesn't have a universal you. Instead, it offers a full arsenal of options, each calibrated for a specific purpose. It is time for you to learn Japan's distance codes. Stop thinking of these as simple pronouns. From this moment on, you will see them as what they truly are, precise instruments for calibrating interpersonal distance. We will master them all. Anata, Kimi, Omae, Anata. Names, roles, even the concept of 0. This is the art of war in a world without you. First, Anata. This is the crutch your textbooks gave you. In the real world, it's rarely the right move. It sounds distant, emotionally sterile. It can even sound accusatory, like a detective interrogating a suspect. It presents itself as the safe option, but it's a trap. It's a delicate, dangerous word that can create a wall where you want to build a bridge. Next, Kimi. This tool is designed to close the distance by 1 degree. It has its uses, from a superior to a subordinate, for example, but listen carefully. It operates on the presupposition of an established relationship. Use it with a stranger, and you've just caused another accident. You will come across as arrogant and presumptuous. Now for Omae. This is not a word. It is a weapon. It is extremely powerful. Its use is restricted to highly specific scenarios, intimate circles of men, or rigid hierarchies. Deployed anywhere else, it is almost always perceived as hostile. Misuse this, and the game is over. Instantly. Then we have Anta, a casual, sometimes rough variant of Anata. It signals informality, but it is volatile. Regional differences and tonal shifts can turn it from casual to aggressive in an instant.
Its effects are unpredictable. Handle with extreme caution.
Now we move to your most versatile and controllable weapon, the person's name. This is where you see the true precision of Japanese distance design. Name plus sen is your standard, safe setting. Name plus kung tightens the focus, bringing you slightly closer. And using the name alone, what we call yobisute, that is a public declaration of intimacy, a massive strategic move.
We also have role-based addressing, sensei, bucho. You are addressing the uniform, not the person inside it. This creates a stable, defensive perimeter. It's safe. But there's always a trade-off. Safety comes at the cost of intimacy. It's a fortress, and fortresses are hard to get into. And now, for the most powerful opening strategy in the entire arsenal, the most counterintuitive and the most effective. Strategy 0. This means you call them nothing. You omit the second-person pronoun entirely. Why is this the ultimate defense? Because you apply zero pressure. You make no incursions into their territory. The probability of an accident drops to nil. It is the perfect opening move.
But make no mistake, 0 is not passive. It is an active strategy of immense potential. Think of it as drawing a bowstring. Let me give you a case study. A colleague told me that before she started dating her now boyfriend, he never once used her name. He employed strategy 0 perfectly. Then one day, he called her by her first name, plain. And in that single moment, the entire dynamic shifted. She knew. Because in Japanese, the change in address is the change in the relationship. You see the ladder? You begin at 0. You ascend to name plus san. You reach the summit with the plain name.
So, you now have your arsenal. But a weapon is useless if you don't know when to deploy it. There is no single correct distance. It is entirely situational. You must analyze the objective, assess the context, and then select the appropriate tool. This requires tactical intelligence. Let's run through some simulations. Battlefield, business. Your primary objective is safety. Your tools are role-based names and strategy 0. Execute. Battlefield, potential romance. You initiate with 0. Build trust. Escalate to name plus san. The final objective is the plain name. That gradual escalation is the entire campaign. Now, a different theater, Garu culture. Here, excessive distance is a weakness. A more direct approach is required. You must analyze every battlefield and choose your weapons accordingly.
And this brings us to the grand strategy. Your choice of pronoun is not just about them, it is a device for self-presentation. It is how you project your own identity onto the field. Use Anata, and you define yourself as formal. Use Kimi, and you are the one who closes the gap. Use 0, and you are the patient strategist. You are not just talking to them, you are designing who you are in relation to them. This is how you build your alliance.
Now listen to me very carefully. Do not use this as an excuse for laziness. Just because raw fluency isn't the entire picture doesn't mean your studies are worthless. It is the exact opposite. To execute these strategies, to design distance, to select the right tool, you need the raw materials, you need the vocabulary, you need the grammar. The work you do at your desk, that is you drafting the blueprints for your future victories.
So, let's summarize the mission. Your true objective, create relationships that last. Your method, consciously design the distance. Your primary tool, the second-person pronoun. And your duty, to learn, to think, and to constantly build upon this strategic framework. That is the art of conversation. Now go and execute.